What's happening, world? B March Boxing back at it with another boxing video. Yeah, so Eddie Hearn, the promoter of the man, um, Demetrius Andrade. I was watching some videos of his yesterday. He's going on Instagram live doing his little um, live stream talking to boxers. And I sat there thinking to myself, that's actually a smart move from Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? I gotta respect him for trying to keep us, the boxing fans and the boxing consumers, keeping us basically still in the mix with all these fighters. You know what I mean? You know, he was on the Instagram live speaking to Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? Andrade was over there in his home state, Providence, Rhode Island. Eddie Hearn was wherever he was at. And I think it's a beautiful way for the fans to engage with the boxers during these tumultuous times we're going through with this COVID-19 floating around. You know what I mean? So when I was watching it, I was just there thinking to myself, this is cool, this is neat and all, you know what I mean? But I think Eddie Hearn, man, Eddie Hearn is first and foremost infatuated with the PBC. Just like the PBC haters who are here on YouTube who are Eddie Hearn disciples, you know what I mean? You check it. The first thing that always come out these Eddie Hearn disciples' mouth is Eddie Hearn says, Eddie Hearn says, but Eddie Hearn says, you know what I mean? That's the first thing they say. But when I was sitting there watching that video with the Andrade and Eddie Hearn, it just dawned on me, man. Eddie Hearn is playing these guys. You know damn well, Eddie Hearn, that Charlo ain't gonna leave no damn PBC or Showtime to go and fight on an app. You know what I'm saying? He's just not gonna do that. There's no PBC fighters who are gonna go over there and fight on an app. Now Bob Arum might have thrown Jose Ramirez to go fight on the app versus what's his name versus Maurice Hooker in a unification. For one, Bob Arum knew that his fight is going to unify them titles, going to bring him back to his stable. You know what I mean? Going to bring him back to ESPN. The fight financially made a lot of sense. It was over there in Maurice Hooker's backyard. You know what I'm saying? In Dallas, Texas. It could have done perfectly fine in where's Ramirez from? Is he from Fresno? I think he's from Fresno, California. He where he does well. He does good numbers when he fights in his hometown. You know what I mean? Of Fresno. You check it, but Bob Arum and them made the gamble because they had very much confidence in their fighter that he would win the fight. Now, as far as Jamel Charlo and Andrade, that's a 50-50. You know, ain't nobody that confident, especially on the PBC side, to allow Jamel Charlo to go over there to go and fight the man on the app and possibly lose his title and have all these guys, um, middleweight champions over there on the zone. You know what I mean? That's one thing that they weren't gonna do that PBC ain't gonna do. But Eddie Hearn is insisting that the man that they're giving this guy massive paydays, his highest career payday, which might be the truth. You know what I mean? I haven't made one video about those negotiations and the figures and stuff because we haven't seen them. We don't have the contracts physically, so it's just speculation. Basically, I'm just gonna be um, reiterating what Eddie Hearn says. Eddie Hearn says he sent Charlo 70. Okay, I'm not doing that. I gotta see concrete proof. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think Eddie Hearn is failing Andrade as a promoter. Ever since this guy came over there to the zone, Andrade, and I'm a fan of Andrade, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Andrade. I'm not going to say the biggest fan like my man Doc Dre. Big up to Doc Dre over here on YouTube. Salute. But I'm a fan of Andrade, and I just want to see him fight the best of the best. And ever since he came to the zone, every single fight that he's been in, I don't know none of these guys except Sulecki. That was the only guy that I knew And he's been on the zone for almost 2 years now. You know what I mean? Every single fighter he fights, they're brand new to me, and I consider myself a hardcore. I watch boxing. There's no fight on boxing on TV that I do miss. So that's why I'm saying Eddie Hearn is failing this guy. Guess who else Eddie Hearn has on the Matchroom stable or is co-promoting over there on the zone? He has Gennady Golovkin. Charlo has never gotten Golovkin I'm sorry, Andrade even close to sniffing a fight with the man, Demetrius, with Triple G. You know what I mean? And I think that's failing a fighter as a promoter because Andrade is a two-way champion, has never lost. He's beating his opponents with ease, barely, if ever, losing any rounds, especially since he came over there to the zone. Why is he not able to get the zone a fight with Triple G on the same stable? But they keep calling out Jamel Charlo, who got his own stuff to handle. Look, if Jamal Charlo is gonna languish in obscurity over there on Showtime PBC fighting nobodies, that ain't the zone and them problem because they can make a mega fight on their platform and unify titles, an in-house thing between Andrade and Triple G. I'm saying now Canelo's a whole different story. This guy's with Golden Boy. This guy fluctuates, goes up from 160 to 168 to 175. He's all over the place. Canoli don't even fight black dudes. If he fights any black dudes, it's gonna be guys like James Kirkland, who was on a 2 year layoff. You know what I mean? Facts. Which other brother has he fought? He ain't fighting the likes of Andrade because he knows what happened when he fights these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Andrade and when Canoli fought Lara and Mayweather and Austin Trout. Just a bad matchup style. Skill wise, it's just gonna be bad for Canoli. Canoli can fold up guys like Rocky Feldon and them. You know what I'm saying? Possibly Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? If that fight's supposed to happen, but at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is failing Andrade as a promoter. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair that Andrade has over 30 fights and the best name on his resume is Vanes Martirosyan, a man who's never won a title. Never won a title, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me, you know what I mean? And then when I was watching that, I could just see how Eddie Hearn keeps trying to poach, keep talking about Jamel Charlo. And look, I want to see the fight just as much as anybody else. But why do the brothers have to fight each other when there's two guys over there for Andrade to fight on his side of the street in Triple G and Canoli? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Why Eddie Hearn keeps pushing the agenda for Andrade to fight the man Charlo? Okay, if you want to do that, then let that man Andrade go to a bigger platform where more eyes will be on Andrade, more visibility, more views, and that's on Showtime PBC or Fox PBC. It's just the truth, you know what I mean? Andrade's not getting any recognition fighting on the app, on the zone. You know what I'm saying? Now they're talking about Andrade maybe fighting guys like what's the guy Triple G arguably lost to? Sergey Deverenchenko. You know what I mean? I personally want to see Jamel Charlo versus Deverenchenko. You know what I'm saying? Andrade, I want to see him versus Triple G. You know what I mean? I want to see him try to get all the belts on his side of the street, then come and fight Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's not fair for man Andrade to be always looking for opponents. His next fight's gonna be against this guy. Who is it? Is it what's that guy? Somebody Liam Williams. You know what I mean? Who blasted out on Atlantis Fox in much better fashion than Demetrius Andrade blasted out on Atlantis Fox. But at the end of the day, that guy ain't gonna beat no Demetrius Andrade. If he do, I'll be severely shocked. But I just see it as another European stand-up fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get washed by Andrade like he's been washing all these other Europeans that he's been fighting over there on the zone. You know what I mean? So I can see right through Eddie Hearn. You know, his mission in boxing is to come over and take over America. And I had bought tickets to go watch that fight with Regis Prograis and Maurice Hooker, and on the undercard Javier Fortuna and Luke Campbell. And unfortunately, the fight ain't happening. These damn people ain't even refund me my money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I've got to make some phone calls. Even though they're not picking up their phone, Ticketmaster phones are not working right now. But that's a very good card, you know what I mean? And I know Eddie Hearn, his biggest competitor in the USA is two people, Top Rank and the PBC. And he ain't outshining neither of them. He ain't doing better than neither guy. He might be putting on some better cards than Top Rank, possibly, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's trying to beat or get into the fighters on the other networks. He's trying to call them out, basically clout chasing for his fighter. But at the end of the day, you want to give your man absolute clout and make him the number one man in the division. Put him in there versus Triple G, man. You promote Triple G, Eddie Hearn. It's not fair. Why you treating a brother like that? You know what I mean? You check it. What? It's not fair, man. You know what I'm saying? Put your fighter in there versus Andrade. Triple G is aging right now. He's on his last legs. Andrade could build and possibly beat Triple G and become that star that you guys want him to be. Undefeated, unlike Triple G, who has a draw and a loss on his resume. B Marsh Boxing, let me know in the comment section if you think that Eddie Hearn is the one holding up Demetrius Andrade when there's some legit unification, middleweight unifications over there on the zone. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody for Jamel Charlo to fight over there on his side of the street, except possibly a Chris Eubank, which is a very good fight. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, Chris Eubank can do a rematch with the guy, Mac, Matt Korobov, to determine who gets a chance to fight for the WBC title that Jamel Charlo holds. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, this would happen, but at the end of the day, I see right through Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? You check it. I don't have no hatred or nothing against Eddie Hearn, but at the end of the day, this is business, and from a fan's perspective, it makes business economical sense on your side of the street, on your app, on the zone, to make a fight between Andrade and Demetrius Andrade for a WBO IBF unification. You check it. Then you can let the dice roll from there. B Marsh Boxing, let me know in the comment section what you think about this situation. You think Eddie Hearn is playing the man Andrade? I do. B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. I'm gone. Peace.